Hey there, Facebook. Meteorologist Kit Cloninger here. Not a forecast update, but actually an update on COVID-19. And just, I really want to address, you've probably seen some of my other coworkers doing this as well, but we all want to address what's going on with COVID-19. It's a very serious issue, and put it in the sense of numbers, Hall County has crossed 1,000 cases today. We only had our first case at the end of March, so in a month, we have hit 1,000 cases, give or take a few days or so. And that's significant. That's close to a 50th of our population. About 1 in 50, 1 in 60 people in Hall County have had or currently have COVID-19. Now, that isn't to say that it's the worst in the state. Dawson County has had many hundreds, as well as Dakota County up in the northeast, Omaha, the Douglas County area, also hundreds of cases. There are, in fact, as of today, 10 counties which have recorded 100 cases or more. And as we head into May, there are other counties that are getting up pretty quickly as well. As we head into May, it's going to get worse. And I don't mean that to sound scary, but I mean that to sound real. This is really happening. It took it a little bit longer to get to Nebraska because we're rural. We already sort of have socially distanced as just a matter of our culture, especially with the agricultural areas and farmland. You're not going to interact with a lot of people every day, but places like Omaha, like Grand Island, any workplace that has close quarters, such as what we've seen at JBS Swift, those kinds of manufacturing jobs, while necessary to keep our society functioning, we're seeing it really take off. And this needs to sort of be a reality check for us. Personally, I grew up, my dad always was an inspiration for, or a source of my interest in science and my just awareness of science and whatnot. And one of his niche interests was sort of in epidemics and in pandemics. I grew up hearing about swine flu, hearing about Ebola, hearing about West Nile. My dad actually had West Nile. But I grew up very aware of what epidemics can do, what pandemics are. And my dad always sort of said, sort of jokingly, but kind of serious, like, the Spanish flu happened 100 years ago, and we haven't had a massive pandemic like it since. And we're probably going to see one in our lifetimes. Personally, it's eerie to have always had that just sort of saying from my dad, like, oh, I always just sort of brushed him off. But it's eerie for me seeing it unfolding across the world, across the country, and now I've moved 1,200 miles from home, from where I grew up, and it's hitting home once again right here in my new county. So it's something that, like, I've always been aware of, but I really want to impart on you who follow me here in Nebraska. I know I have other followers in Iowa and in Illinois and in North Carolina and other places sporadically. It might not seem like you might not know someone yet who has had COVID yet, but just the nature of how it spreads, it's going to hit someone you know. And I've already had a couple of friends who have either they have had it or they've been suspected, but there weren't tests available at the time, or they've lost family or friends. So I know my family, some of my extended family, are at risk just by their age group or by their health issues that they may have. So I know people that I want to protect, and so they're miles away, but here in Hall County, in Nebraska, you can do your part by wearing a mask. I wear this when I go to work and when I come home from work. There are some people in my building who are older, who I don't know what their health conditions are or where they work. So when I'm passing in the hallways, I'm wearing my mask just in case I meet them in the hall. And that's something, especially when you're going grocery shopping, you need to be wearing a mask because you're going to cross paths with people. And once you get 2 or 3 separations away from one person, you've interacted with dozens of people, and any one of those people could transmit it to you, or you could transmit it to them. And it's something we really need to take seriously, y'all. I don't mean to go on for so long, but I just 1,000 cases in a month here in Hall County, and it's going to get worse. There's some signals that point that it might be tapering off a bit, but if we do this together, if we all wear masks, if we all just get through it, endure what's happening, it's a new reality, and none of us have experienced this before, but this is the least that you can do, and by staying home, you're saving people's lives. So again, I've gone on for too long, but I appreciate you following me. I did a story on this today. I actually slaved through all the numbers, and pulled out some data. I'm going to be reporting on it over the next couple of weeks, some of the trends that we're starting to see. So I'll upload that video from this evening on Facebook in a little while. But everybody stay safe. I love you all for following me. I thank you for following me here too. Yeah. All right, I'll wrap it up. So yeah, thank you. Stay safe, y'all.